And here, says the Holy Father, Catholics should take the lead. This is an unusual question to ask. How are we doing on the time? What time is it?
8:15.
8:15.
8:15. Thank you. Number 7, children not a burden, but a gift. With the Pope coming back to the same theme. Says the Pope, Christianity stands or falls on our practice of selfless charity. We are naturally, notoriously selfish. Only by God's grace do we rise above our natural selfishness, even to practice elementary justice. We need grace. And it is not only grace to practice justice, but grace to practice charity. And beyond charity, oh, how important this is, to practice the charity that is costly, that is painful, that is difficult, otherwise known as mercy. And the Pope makes a big issue of this. A family must not only practice charity, members loving one another, but they are to love one another by forgiving one another, which means loving each other mercifully. You know, I have a comment, having over the years done some research on the origin of the family as we know it. Except for Christianity, there would be no family in the world anywhere. In the Roman Empire, into which Christianity was born. Contraception, universal. Abortion, simply taken for granted. Infanticide, the father of every child in the Roman Empire, by law, having shown a baby as soon as it was born, took a look at the baby, and especially if it was a girl, there had to be a bucket, a big bucket of water, filled with water, next to the bed. And it was his decision whether the baby lived or would it die. And most of the baby girls were killed. Infanticide was universally illegal in the Roman Empire. Abortion, the whole gamut. That's why I keep telling people, what we are experiencing in our country today is simply the return to that state of paganism which preceded the rise of Christianity. As a nation becomes more and more de-Christianized, it then becomes more and more paganized in its attitude toward the whole gamut of marriage, family, children, you name it. Number 8, and this, I would say, is the jewel of the Pope's letter. what he calls the two civilizations. We better hear it. This has always been true. The world is subject to two civilizations. It's the theme of St. Augustine's City of God, which I recommend to all of you to read. There is, to use Augustine's terminology, the city of God and the city of man. I've got 7 contrasts. In the city of God, there is faith in eternity. In the city of man, there is no eternity, it is only time. Everything will end, including man's existence. Second, in the city of God, there is faith in spirit. In the city of man, only matter exists. What is matter? That which can be sensibly perceived, can be touched, seen, felt, smelt, heard. In the city of God, there is a God, a being who never came into existence. In the city of man, it is either atheism or agnosticism, either the denial of God or uncertainty whether there is a God. Number 4, in the city of God, there is both nature and grace. Nature, which, say, we have when we come into the world, and grace that we acquire from God through prayer and the sacraments. In the city of man, grace is meaningless. In the city of God, life here on earth is only a prelude to the life that is to come. In the city of man, life here on earth is the only life there is. Number 6, in the city of God, sex is part of God's providence, and sexual pleasure is to be experienced according to God's will. In the city of man, sex is a pleasure for itself. And finally, in the city of God, the love of others is the norm of morality. In the city of man, self-love is normative. Self-love is a law of morality. And as we see immediately, you're dealing with 2 completely disparate understandings of not just our existence, but the existence even of a God.